Yo, what's happening, YouTubers? Tonight is not a brand new unboxing video. It's not a Lonely Fans podcast. Tonight is something a little bit different. I've been asked a few times, how many figures do you have in your collection? It seems like you have a lot of toys. So I thought tonight would be a fun night to kind of showcase my display and my figures and my collection. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look. Now, starting off first, we're going to start with our Jim Lee X-Men team. In my opinion, also, aka the animated series team. The only one missing is Morph, so hopefully Hasbro will give us one sooner rather than later. But last year, it was officially complete when we got the new Rogue. Now, I think Hasbro is doing a reissue for later this year. And then in the back there, you do see the Phoenix with the Toy Biz Phoenix display. And then I put Jeffrey the Land Shark here because why the hell not? Now, keeping it within the X-Men theme, here we have front and center the House of X-Wave that was released earlier this year, minus Wolverine, with the different Magneto head sculpt on there. Then we have my X-Factor team back there from the animated series also. Hopefully Hasbro will also give us an updated Wolfsbane. And keeping it within the Marvel Legends theme, here's my Avengers shelf / Spider-Man. This shelf used to be a lot bigger, but I have downsized lately in my collection when it comes to comic book Marvel Legends. I'll get to that a little later on. But I do have one Toy Biz on this display here. I don't know if you can spot it. It is Warbird, Miss Marvel right there. And just a few shelves down, we have my Villain Shelf Part 1. And it's kind of surreal to see that within the last 3 years, we've gotten all these villains from Hasbro. We truly are in a golden era of Marvel Legends, if you ask me, because considering we've got Kang, Thanos, Doctor Doom, Age of Apocalypse, and MODOK, which in my opinion is better than the Toy Biz one. Like, there's so much variety, and I said Part 1 because this is kind of like my OP Villain Shelf. We'll get to the Villain Shelf Part 2. And here's my Villain Shelf Part 2. Now, I think it might be questionable. Some people might not think that Red Hulk should be here, but let me know what you all think. But we have a couple of my Build-A-Figures that I've gotten recently. Sugar Man, Tri-Sentinel, and Mr. Hyde. Of course, we have everyone's favorite, Frogman. Now, I did want to put Ultron, Red Skull, and Dormammu in Villain Shelf Part 1, but I gotta find room for them. And while I do have a lot more Marvel Legends, I also have a lot of McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures. Some of my favorite figures this year actually are from McFarlane Toys, so these are just kind of a little bit of what I've got. Now this one's kind of my miscellaneous shelf. I would say it's predominantly my hero stuff, but this is where we have like my Airbender, Dragon Ball Z, Power Rangers. I'm trying to complete the In Space Rangers team. And then we have the Mortal Kombat Spawn and the Todd McFarlane inspired Batman. I just thought those two would go hand in hand on display. A couple McFarlane toys, one Punch Man figure, and the My Hero Academia ones as well. Now we're gonna move over to my other shelf, which you can see is a bunch of random ass figures. I gotta go fix this up a little bit, but you can see the Jazzware Charizard, which is a pretty dope figure. We have the Snyder Cut Justice League figures from McFarlane Toys with Todd McFarlane front and center. And then over here you can see some of the Suicide Squad John Cena and Harley Quinn. And we have the new Henry Golding Snake Eyes figure with Ronan sizing them up. These figures I'm working on a stop motion for. That's why they're kind of just placed on the shelf right now. And then we have my first Mezco figure right there, the Cable. If you haven't already yet, check out the video of me and Fobster doing a live unboxing of this figure. Then we have another Age of Apocalypse figure right there. And then the Galactus from the Marvel Universe line. And then on the front there, we have my first NECA figures. We have Homelander and Starlight from The Boys. So initially when I set up these display cubes, I wanted to use them for kind of like props or diorama. So I have the Bat Raptor here with the Batman figure. And then moving right on over, we have the Hall of Armor from Disney Toy Box, Disney Shop online with the newly acquired Happy Hogan taking a selfie with Tony and Iron Spider trying to get in there. But the Hall of Armor figures that I've got are kind of random. It's a mix of both MCU and comic ones. Which, by the way, that modular Iron Man is pretty dope. And moving on down here, we've got a couple Stan Lee figures, Stan the Man. We have a couple Mego figures, and then also the Marvel Legends Stan Lee. Okay, now we're gonna take a look at my two favorite sections of my collection display. We're gonna start first with the Fox X-Men / Sony property displays. These are a couple of Hasbro Marvel Legends that were released within the last year. And in my opinion, it's so surreal to see these figures being made because I never thought we would have got a Michael Fassbender Magneto and even a Hugh Jackman Logan movie figure, which in my opinion is one of the best ones. And also Sir Patrick Stewart back there. We have a couple earlier Hasbro Marvel Legends figures back there as well, like the Beast, the Juggernaut, Toy Biz, Magneto. And then one of my favorite parts of the collection is the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider in the back there. So a couple of Toy Biz ones on this display. Then we have a couple Sony properties on there. And then we also have the Trio, which is heavily rumored to be in the new Spider-Man movie. And then we have this Deadpool with his custom X-Men trainee shirt. And then this Deadpool figure right here, which is one of my favorite Marvel Legends to date right now, is that Deadpool figure. And then of course we have Deadpool's unicorn right there. Okay, and when it comes to Marvel Legends, MCU is essentially my bread and butter. It's what got me back into collecting. So that's why this gets like the top shelf. And it's probably one of my biggest collections is my Marvel Legends ones. So let's go ahead and get started on this side, which I kind of dub like the new Avengers. And then on the back there, you can kind of see some other characters as well. Now you might have noticed for the Guardians, I have predominantly like those basic figures just because I don't feel like going back and repurchasing those older Marvel Legends because I know we're probably going to get new ones with Guardians 3 coming out in a couple of years. And then we also have a Doctor Strange, but this one's going to be an SH Figure Arts one just because I think this one looked better than the Marvel Legends that's being offered at the time. But now we have the new one from No Way Home coming out. Then we have the new Quicksilver as well. And then we use the Titan Heroes series Ant-Man in the back there. We've got our Defenders right there, just missing a couple other ones. I'm not going to pay the flipper prices for that Danny Rand because that thing is ridiculous. Then we have the Quantum Suit Hulk. So it's kind of a mixture of basic figures and Marvel Legends. And then here is the OG 6 I have in the middle with a couple newly acquired figures like that Iron Man Mark 85 with that dope Robert Downey head sculpt. So this side right here is predominantly going to be the Avengers right there. Moving over on this side is kind of our villain shelf with Thanos kind of at the forefront. And in the back there you see Surtur, Ironmonger, Cull Obsidian, Hela, a couple other Thanoses. It's insane to see how many Thanoses we've actually gotten from Hasbro, but I'm not complaining. So it is an ever-growing collection because with more movies coming out, more figures coming out as well. So I still have to make room for the What If figures. So I got to get a bigger shelf here. And just to kind of show you all my workstation right here. So I got a couple other figures that I still need to put on the display, like the new Thor that just came out, which is pretty sick. I picked up another Shang-Chi figure. In addition to Shang-Chi, I've got a couple more figures I need to get out of the box. So just letting you know, I am working on new content for the channel. So stay tuned for that. And that is my collection video, YouTubers. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Please hit that like button if you liked what you saw. And if you haven't already yet, please smash that subscribe button. Thank you for watching.